Hello, hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Thank you so much for joining us for round number 8 of the Box 3 IMSA Season 1. We're at Road America, which is I'm super excited about. I love this track. It's definitely one of the best American road circuits. I got some folks already in the chat hanging out. Dad's here. Hey, Dad. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I see Gian's in chat. Oh, and Mr. Peter Hutchings. How are you doing, Pete? I'm gonna try and pronounce that. Is that Vauder? Vauder Racing? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. We're gonna get out on track and get into the action here in a moment. Here, actually, let me turn on the game audio just to get a feel. There we go. Not too bad. So yeah, let's switch over to the game feed and see how this transition works. It didn't work too bad. So I'm running the broadcast today. Molson's not going to be with us today. But we get to hang out and watch a 1-hour sprint race around Road America for round 8 of the Box3 IMSA series. 19 degrees ambient temperature with 55% humidity, clear skies. Track temperature's 42°C though, so it's gonna be a little warm. So should be pretty interesting for tire management, especially at a track like Road America is pretty demanding in terms of grip levels. So we'll see. Hope everybody's doing well. Just as a quick sound check, just let me know if you can hear everything okay. I will get switched over to the racing action right about now. At least I thought I would. There we go. Excellent. Got some cars on track, so let's get the race data pulled up. In free practice right now with Mr. Gian Cardoso and Lewis Rickard, who actually, that wonderful Anthony Anderson with a American Eagle on his shoulder. Mr. Lewis Rickard in the Small Wiener Racing 96 LMP2 out on track, did get promoted to a race win at Homestead. So broke the undefeated streak of Dylan Bittman. Gian Cardoso in. Oh, wait a minute. Trading Paints is not loading. Let me do a reload on that real quick. Sorry about that, folks. It's in the background, but it did not do the download. All right, so I'm doing the download now. Just give me a quick second. I'm going to do that, and then let's jump in the sim and do the refresh, and we'll get the liveries updated. Should be good. So let's get the stuff set up real quick with. Does this show? So Gian out on track in the Cadillac. Looking to set a good tone for his race here at Road America. If you have any questions or anything, I'm kind of interested to see what people want to know before we get dialed into a 1-hour sprint here. Just looking at the standings real quick. GTP, Ethan Hamlet, a 5-point lead on Brandon Pfeiffer. Retro Coffin, 80 points behind in 3rd place. That's your top 3 in LMP2. Let's look. Dylan Bittman still on top. 24-20 is the point total for Dylan Bittman. Lewis Rickard in the 96 in 2nd place with 1,910 points, and Jarrett Skinner in 3rd with 1,670 points. GTD has been a bit of a struggle to get participation in the last few rounds. But Guilherme Costa Reyes in the 21, been a no-show the last 2 rounds, sitting on top with 1,710 points. But Marcus Yutz with 1565 in the Porsche 911 in second, and Robert Lewis in the Ferrari 296 in third with 1545. Currently got 8 people in session. Looks like we've got 5 GTPs, 3 LMP2s. Hoping to get those numbers up before we go green here. Let's see. Is anybody else out on track? Mr. Alex Martin is. I can't tell if Trading Paints is going to update or not. It keeps giving me weirdness. Let's try again. Trading Paints, you're killing me. All right, going to double check and make sure the pit wall data has updated for Box3 Motorsport. You can do !point pit wall to get access to pit wall data for this race. Ten people hanging out in chat. Thanks for being here. Yeah, it just looks like Trading Paints is just going to not work today. Kind of unfortunate. Like my paints are synced. I can't seem to figure out how to get it to actually load the paints. My logs, it shows the paints are downloaded, but they're not, for whatever reason, they're not loading. And no, I restarted it, no files will download. Let's try it again. I'll restart it one more time. Date. And still rocking nothing paints. Oh, something happened. I just saw a paint. Oh, there we go. There's the Nico Motors paint. There we go. Now they're back. Ah, I see. Thank you, Gian. Appreciate you sharing that information. So Gian Cardoso right now with a time of a 1:48.831 to top the timesheets. Alex did say he had a 47 in the car, I believe, in chat earlier today. Let's see what he gets when he comes across the line. Don't see an update yet for him. Oh, there he goes to the top with a 48.809. Just doing some quick checks real fast before we get to too much of the racing action in qualifying. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I know we do have the start of the Daytona 24 happening as well. Hope you guys are going to get to watch that. I do not believe Molson is near his computer, Lewis. Looks like getting word that we might have a issue with the server, perhaps. I'm gonna go on mute, chat. I'll be right back. And we're back. Looks like we've got an issue with some registration with the server, but it does look like people can register and race. Joining me in the booth, though, unable to race this weekend, but still here with us to hang out, is Adam Willie. How are you doing, Adam?
Doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good.
Turn the game audio down a little bit to make sure that we've got good levels. So, Road America, this is a track you were excited for. What is it? What is it that you really like about Road America as a circuit?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just like it.
Yeah, for me, go ahead.
I'm not too, what's the word I'm looking for? Acknowledgeable, maybe is the word, about, the certain aspects of each, say, turn or straight or whatnot.
So for me in particular, what I love about Road America is it's what I love about a lot of the American and like British GT style road circuits, and even some of the like European ones, like the older ones like IMSA and stuff, is I do like how as a track it really rewards precision and it really punishes mistakes.
Oh, absolutely.
I think road circuit stuff in particular, especially when you got like engineered. The thing that is disappointing to me sometimes is when you have tracks that have massive runoff areas, because it kind of doesn't really punish that kind of. It doesn't punish that level of precision the same way, or imprecision.
Like Watkins Glen T1, that has a massive runoff.
Yeah, it does, but not many other areas on that track do, with the exception of the outer loop. So it's like when you get to like the outer loop on the exit of the bus stop, like it is very much a lot of like you go off track, there's a bit of grass and then an Armco barrier waiting to catch you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a similar thing here at Road America. And we've seen that kind of in real life racing as well. I mean, this was the track where we saw the accident. Was it between Will Power and Joseph Newgarden this past year? Again, it's just there's not that much space on the outside of the track. Double bird Will Power. You're absolutely right, Retro. That was pretty epic. That was a pretty epic feeling that you were getting from Will Power after that accident. but yeah, it's an interesting track. It punishes mistakes. I think in this heat, I feel like the grip levels are going to be tricky because I mean we got 42 degrees on track. We've got a decent temperature ambient. It seems like the actual track temp itself is pretty spicy. It's 19 ambient, but 42 on track. In your experience, Adam, on a track like this, what is it like racing this kind of track with low grip levels?
Oh, geez. See, that's another thing I don't really focus on. I just drive.
All right.
But I'd say the hard left coming down the hill is where a lot of people may make mistakes with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like turn 5 is going to definitely be a tricky one. That hairpin is we're going to see some battles there. There is a runoff area there, but if you go into that runoff area, you basically are going to spend a certain pretty decent amount of time getting back on track. You're going to lose a lot of positions. It's going to punish you pretty heavily. But the dark rumble strips on the outside, there's not a lot of grip out there, and I feel like if we get some side-by-side racing into turn 5, it's going to be pretty spicy.
So you actually can use that runoff to your advantage. It will not give you a track cut unless you're like in the grass coming back on.
Yeah, indeed. It's a tricky one, but I feel like to your point, having a little bit of that runoff area to use to your advantage, I think will help. And it is exceptionally narrow. So if you don't count that runoff area, so it does give it at least a little bit of room for some good elbows out fighting.
Yeah.
So
I would
go ahead.
My favorite section of this track is probably section 3, from the carousel to turn 12. I love that section. A lot of high speed stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it does have some really good high speed sections where you kind of get rewarded for really working on the efficiency of how you take your line and how you handle the balance of the car, especially the carousel. Carousel is one of those corners where I feel like if you are way too overzealous with getting on the power and not really focusing on balancing the car with the throttle through the corner, you can lose a lot of time, because if you scuff your exit out of the carousel, you're going to get punished all the way down to Canada Corner. It is just,
absolutely.
It's not going to work out in your favor. Dylan Bittman going really tail happy there on the exit of Canada Corner right now. Dylan Bittman looking to recover after Homestead, but Dylan's fast. I think he's gonna be able to take the fight to people. It's going to be interesting to see. And in terms of pace right now in practice, he's got plenty of pace in hand. Talking some more about some of the people on track. We haven't talked that much about it yet, Adam. Ethan Hamlet currently has a 6/10 advantage on Marty Rumbouts. Those two have been closer the last 2 rounds.
Oh wow, and Alex making his way up there into that battle below the 47s as well.
Yep, so 47s for Alex. Looks like that was not false advertising for the certified Sonoma GP hater of Alex Martin. So, yeah, getting in the 47s. Less than a half second between him and Ethan Hamlet. This is probably the most pace I've seen from Alex this season.
Oh, Alex is a great driver. Don't let him fool you.
No question on the quality of his skill. The main thing for me is, in particular, it looks like it just looks like he's kind of got a rhythm with this track. Definitely finding some pace. And practice just coming to an end. We're getting geared up for qualifying, and I believe it will be open qualifying. I'm not sure if the LMP2s or the GTPs are going to go first. We'll find out here in a moment. But real quick, let's pull up those practice results. Take a look at those times. Again, Ethan Hamlet at 47.499. Little over, or a little less than half a tenth between, or little less than half a second between himself and Alex. Looks like the LMP2s are going to head out on track. Dylan Bittman immediately jumping out.
You know what I just realized?
What is that, sir?
If I didn't mess up, I could have come P1 and GT3.
You could have. You could have.
Wow. Could have came in first and last all in one race. But let's see how these LMP2s do in qualifying. Lewis still has not come out yet. He's coming out now.
All right. Dylan's going to get geared up for a flyer, Mr. Bittman has a number of first place finishes to his name in the Leaper Esports LMP2. Just getting geared up to go out on a flyer.
Looks like Mr. Keith Gatehouse made the same mistake that I did, and he will not be able to race as well.
That is unfortunate. Technical difficulties, catching people out, and that's a bit of a bummer. So Dylan right now, our current LMP2 front runner, looks like he's going to be the first one to set a time, and he is, of course, purple everywhere because there's been no time set yet. Although that tail slide on the exit of, I believe that is turn 8. Through the kink, man, he can carry so much speed. I love racing these LMP2 prototypes. I have yet to adapt really to the GTPs. I really do enjoy racing the LMP2s. They're a lot of fun.
Well, if you can, definitely try out the GTPs. They're a lot of fun as well.
I got the M8 when GTPs were introduced, and I had fun with the car in particular. I do enjoy how the GTPs in particular kind of set the tone. Well, not set the tone. Like, you have to do a lot to set the tires up at the start of a stint, and I really do appreciate that they've worked that into the tire model for the GTPs in particular. So yeah, I just think that they're really cool cars. They look super fun to drive. Looks like we're on board with Lewis Picard in the 96. Exiting Canada corner right now. Oh, interesting. Already some balance of performance drama.
See if he can't beat that 150.9.
So he's green, although Dylan Bittman's already looking like he's extending in sectors 1 and 3. Jarrett Skinner currently getting ready to set his time lap in the 960.
Another thing, like, about T1, you can carry so much speed through T1.
Oh yeah, I love it. Such a good setup to start the lap out here at Road America.
Yeah, the first time I ever raced here, T1, I wasn't carrying near enough speed going through there, and I was falling behind so much, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. So Retro talking about how IMSA set the 992 up with the smallest fuel tank, increased drag, and increased weight, which is kind of interesting, right? So you reduce the fuel tank size, so they're reducing weight on the car, but then you increase the weight. And not only that, by increasing the weight, you're effectively reducing the fuel eco. He's talking about how Rexy's already gone from pole to P4. So, yeah, man, that's kind of interesting they decided to go that route. Reaper QC, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Just saw the notification in the activity feed. Apologies for missing that. Yeah, we got some IMSA action of our own here at Road America for round 8 of the SIMSA series. In the booth with me, Mr. Adam Willie. Getting to broadcast together with this man for the first time, and I'm excited about it. An hour race here at Road America. What do you think of the format for this season so far, Adam?
With regards to...
Oh, just with regards to like Box 3 doing multi-class racing in iRacing. Like, to me, it just seems like for me personally, it's been a real fun opportunity to get to do this kind of racing with this community. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are.
Absolutely. It gives those a chance to drive, a different car instead of just, say, the LMP2 or just GT3s.
Yeah.
If they're comfortable in a GT3 compared to a LMP2 or GTP, they can race that and still do really well.
Yeah. I just like the variety.
Yeah, I think it's...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The variety's good. I feel like the development of the racecraft with respect to the different classifications of cars, also just like so much fun.
See, there's also the aspect of running into traffic and getting through said traffic. Now, there probably won't be as much of that here today with as many drivers as we have.
Yeah, I mean, I think the small amount that we have on tap for this race today, while a bit of a disappointment, I do feel like with the road surface the way that it is right here at Road America with the temperatures and everything like that, could result in some fun in terms of strategy, because people that don't go through the process of really taking care of their tires, they are potentially at a lot of risk. Jared Skinner, 1.3 seconds off the pace. Lewis is having some trouble getting up to pace as well.
If Lewis wants to stay in contention for the championship, he'll have to do a little better.
Yeah, the performance is going to be, I just feel like it's going to be tough to extract it at the track configuration like this right now. I think the heat in particular is catching some people out. But that doesn't, I mean, there's still 1 hour of sprint race action headed our way. And like we were saying before earlier in the stream, Road America is a track that will punish you if you make mistakes. So Dylan Bittman might have a 1.3 second advantage on Jared Skinner right now. That does not mean that it's all decided. In fact, if you go back to Homestead, just a couple weeks ago, like Dylan Bittman had monster pace there as well, but our early accident set him far down the order and put him on track for what was a very impressive race recovery. But still, I mean, it just shows that this stuff doesn't end up being deterministic just based on pace alone.
Yeah. I say the biggest spots for error, if there is any today, will be turn 5 and turn, 12, coming out of the, after the kink.
Ah, gotcha. You're talking about Canada Corner.
Yes.
Canada Corner, the infamous.
Because in a lot of open lobby, public lobbies, that is where a lot of mistakes happen.
Yeah. I feel like Canada Corner is another one of those corners that it does have the dark rumble strips on the outside of the corner, giving you the feeling like you have a little bit of runoff area to work with, and you do. You definitely don't have to keep everything all on the tarmac, but at the same time, that kitty litter on the outside and those tires are mighty inviting should you overshoot the corner and miss a braking point.
Oh, it can definitely ruin your race.
Dylan's going to come across the line again with a 150.513 to set the tone. Now 1.8 second gap. Jared Skinner out on another flyer, and Lewis Ricard's getting set up to go into turn 1. Let's actually jump in the gyro of Lewis's car and take a peek as he goes around. Oh, now we're on Jared Skinner. Oh, but Jared's getting ready to go through turn 1. Like you were talking about, carrying lots of speed through the corner. Down here to turn 3. Turn numbers around here, kind of a weird thing at Road America, if I'm honest.
It's America. What do you expect?
So green in sector 1, no improvement in sector 2, into turn 3. Ooh, dives it to the inside early on, uses those rumble strips to his advantage as he comes up into Corvette on the brakes. Very narrow part of the track. Turn 8. Now getting
Turn
set
7.
up. Go ahead.
Turn 7 is another really nice corner where you can hold a lot of speed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and off at the carousel. This is what we were talking about before. Like, unable to really balance the car, and it will punish you. Meanwhile, Lewis Ricard through the chicane as he gets ready to go into turn, I believe this is turn 13. And down the start-finish straightaway. Let's see what he can do.
Will he have enough to get a lot closer to Dylan Bittman, though?
I mean, he's green in sectors 3, 4, and 5. And he does improve. 151.681 shaves quite a bit of time off the margin to Dylan Bittman. And now Lewis is going through turn 1 and getting ready to really start cooking here.
This will be their last lap before the GTPs come out.
Lewis is pushing the car through the middle sectors. Did go green in sector 1. Let's see what he can do through the carousel section. Dylan Bittman trying to get some extra cushion, but did not match his previous best in sector 1, sector 2, so already down a little bit on time. Into Canada corner. Big slide.
Ooh. That might cost him.
That might cost him some time, but it does look like he has some improvements potentially to carry into the lap time. Is green in sectors 1, 3, and 4. That final corner didn't look too bad. Let's see what he gets when he comes across the line. Does improve his time, but not his position. Does get within 1 second of Dylan Bittman. And Lewis does manage to close the gap down a little bit on Dylan Bittman. And now we have our GT prototypes out on track. Dylan Bittman coming into the pits. And there's Gian Cardoso. Oh, the camera keeps switching on me now. Alex Martin in the Nico Motors Cadillac. Good stuff. So the GTPs are out on track to start qualifying here at Road America, or I should say to finish it off. We do have 15 minutes for them to go around and set their fastest lap. Lewis saying he had the wrong setup on for the first 10 minutes, but you did manage to squeak out some time there at the end, Lewis. Good effort, sir. Good effort.
think with the small amount of drivers we have today, it'll still be great racing.
Again, I really feel like the temperatures are going to be the things that are going to set the tone. I think tire management is going to be key because you can definitely sacrifice a heap of pace if you push these tires too much with the track temps the way they are. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I just saw the track temp for the first time. Wow.
That is a big difference.
Grant, I don't know what it is in Celsius, though. At track temp 100 degrees Fahrenheit?
That's definitely spicy out here in Road America.
Let's see if Ethan Hamlet was holding back during practice. See if he can't get that 146.
Well, actually, what I'm kind of curious is Wardy Rumbout's going to try and take the fight to Ethan here because Wardy has kind of had Ethan on the ropes in terms of pace in the last few rounds, but this time around, Ethan Hamlet is here, and he is driving pretty quick.
And as soon as I say that, he runs a 146 too.
That's quick. That is no doubt.
I wonder if he can get that 45.
If he can, man, it's going to make Alex Martin crushing them 47s look. It's going to make Alex feel it. Gian Cardoso currently 0.08 of a second behind Alex Martin in the 42 for I can't remember what team Gian is racing for in this series. Let's check in with Mr. Cardoso. Oh, he's got that Coors Edge livery on the Cadillac here. Yeah, Gian's not too far off of Alex's time. Talk about pace differences. Dylan Bittman's only 0.3 slower than Gian Cardoso right now. Jared Skinner says he's running the iRacing baseline. Well, dude, the fact that you are that close to Lewis with the iRacing baseline, that's a big effort, dude. It's a big effort. I know Lewis was running the wrong setup for a while, but Lewis is genuinely quick, so. So Wardy Rumbouts, look at that. 1/10 away from Mr. Ethan Hamlet. Wardy is, yeah, Wardy is definitely bringing some pace. Definitely bringing some pace here. Somebody we haven't seen a time yet. Well, I haven't seen a time yet from Mr. Retro Coffin.
Is Retro out on track?
I do see the 397 getting ready to come across the line to start a time lap, or maybe finish a time lap. We just may not have him up on the quali dash yet, but
I think this will be the end of his first time lap.
And a 1:48.891 to leapfrog Alex Martin into the third spot. Wardy Rumbout's in the pits with 1/10 between him and Mr. Ethan Hamlet, but they've got a whopping 2.5 second gap on Retro Coffin. Yeah, that's huge. Bigly. Dylan, I'll interview you after the race. Absolutely. You're going to be in the podium, so I can do podium interviews after the race.
Oh, that's great.
Sounds good, Dylan. Sounds good, man.
It took me a second, but I got there.
Glad to see you on track, man. Glad to see you on track. But 3/10 off Gian Cardoso, Dylan. Come on now. What are you doing? You going to catch a GTP on track on pace alone?
Oh, that'd be great. Now, I will say that the LMP2s, I feel like are roughly, maybe slightly off of the GTP's pace in the corners because they can hold more speed.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. So Dylan says he's got the try-hard mode engaged. Get to see
So go ahead.
Bitman Unleashed. Go ahead, sir. What were you going to say?
I don't remember.
That's fine. We are in... What is that? Inside of 7 minutes to the end of qualifying right now. Ethan Hamlet still on top in the Acura. And man, let me tell you, even with the balance of performance shifting towards Acura midseason from the iRacing patch, Ethan was not really that slow in comparison to the Cadillacs at the start.
Was it just Acuras and Caddies that we have on track? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it, he's the only one, isn't he? I don't know.
He's the only Acura. Actually, I think
Caddies,
I can't remember. I think Wardy Rumbouts is running the Caddy. I think who was it that won last race at Homestead? He was a newcomer. I think he was in an Acura.
Okay.
Lars was quick. Lars was shocking. He's watching Daytona. Good for him, man. Good for him. Yes,
Actually,
Tristan,
no,
there are currently only 8 drivers on track, but we're going to try and have some fun watching these guys race around Road America, which I think is a wonderful circuit. I've been waiting for this race for a while. Go ahead, sir. What were you going to say?
Lars is watching Daytona. Man, he's got 24 hours. He could spend an hour over here.
Indeed. Inside 5 minutes to the end, Ethan Hamlet right now, 46.272 is the tone for GTP. Alex Martin currently sitting on yellow times. Oh, the first hour because it's the most interesting one? I mean, I don't know. Last hour has been pretty spicy at Daytona for the last couple of years. So, just saying.
So Ethan Hamlet, his fastest lap during quali was his first lap.
Oh, yeah. He just said it. Oh, look at Wardy Rumbouts, though. He's purple in Sector 2. Let's jump on board with Mr. Rumbouts. Full course yellow for 20 minutes at the first hour. That's unfortunate. Well, tell him to jump in. There's no shame in showing up for the grid.
Sadly, at this point, he wouldn't be able to join.
I'm not sure if in the hosted sessions it's fixed like that. I think it's very similar to, although unless he unregistered, then it might be tricky. But
Well, so when I tried to join in for the SR8 and they were in quali, I could not join.
Interesting.
They were in quali.
Well, I that's something new. I did not know that. Learned that today.
Yes, you can only join during the practice portion.
Oh, comes across the line just 1/10 off of his personal best around here for 46.386. Not enough. He's going to have to go back to the well and see if he can do it again. Wardy Rumbouts. Retro Coffin's got some improvement in the Coral Cove Porsche, the lone Porsche out on track. Oh, and then loses the back end in the carousel into the wall.
Yep.
And the Lego rear wing just decides to detach and reattach itself. That is unfortunate.
I wonder what happened there with him.
Porches moment? Yes. Yes. That's
Yeah,
what we
that
call
makes
that's what we
sense.
call them in the South too, Lewis. We don't call them Porsches, we call them porches.
Porch. Oh, porches.
Porches. Yep. Or as they say where I'm from, porches. You drive one of them porches? $47.0 on the prediction, though. So looks like Retro's got a little bit more pace in reserve to take the fight to Alex Martin, who's sitting a whole 1/10 off of Retro Coffin right now. The back of the GTP field, actually, less than a half second between Retro Coffin, Alex Martin, and Gian Cardoso.
I think those three will end up having a pretty good race. Just them three by themselves for that last podium finish.
Yeah. Autocorrect is definitely a tricky thing sometimes for me. But it's also because I can't spell. So
Dude, I'm the same way, Phil. I will be so far off, autocorrect cannot correct it. It's a shame.
So Gian on track right now, looking for some improvements, but
I'm
seems to
going to
be
step away for a moment.
Yes, sir. Seems to be missing a lot in sectors 1, 2, and 3. We'll see what he can do. 14 people tuned in to watch round 8 of the Box 3 SIMSA Season 1 at Road America. Thank you all so much for being here. We're closing down in the last minute. Net time has elapsed, so checkered flag flying laps will count here in qualifying. Gian Cardoso not going to improve his time or his position, but he is going to practice his pit stop, which Mike Noss his heart would be singing right now because somebody actually went through the process of practicing a pit stop. And with qualifying done and dusted, we are going to get geared up for this race. Let's get switched over to the race info. Again, round 8, Road America. The temperature a little bit cooler here in qualifying, 37°C, as opposed to the 42 degrees we had in free practice. So cooler temps might be able to help these drivers a little bit with maintaining tire life. Going into those quali results. Oh, it's got the racing info still on top. Apologies for that. Let's do that again. So Ethan Hamlet in the Crunkle Sport, running that Lytle livery with a 46.044 to set the tone in GTP. We've got the MRRS Racing 1 Wardy Rumbouts. I almost said Rardy Wombouts. I think Wardy's going to have fun with that one. You can feel free to make fun of me. It's fine. 3/10 off in the number 70 Coral Cove Porsche, piloted by none other than Retro Coffin. 1.7 seconds off the pace. Yeah, I know, Wardy. I totally goofed up on your name. Feel free to make fun of me. I'm a dum-dum sometimes. So 1.7 seconds between Retro and Wardy. But that pack 3, 4, and 5, Retro's in front of Alex Martin, and Gian Cardoso's not really that far off, too, in the 2 seconds, Ted. Number 42. The Leapert Esports 110, Dylan Bittman unleashed, bringing the pace to Road America after second place finish at Homestead. And then we've got Lewis Ricard and Jarrett Skinner rounding out the field. See, that's the thing, Wardy. It doesn't happen to me all the time with like pronunciations, but it definitely happens all the time with spellings because I have a lot of like double consonants in my name. So some of the spellings I get sometimes are kind of like head scratchers, but it's all good. It's all good either way. Pace car is going. Skew spellings. I get you, Red. How are you doing, Red? Hope you're doing well. Formation lap is underway. They're going to let the GTPs get a little ways down the road before the LMPs follow along. Can we get the grid? Can we show the grid? Let's see if the grid will show. Oh, that's cool. Ethan Hamlet. P1, Wardy Rumbouts in the MRRS Racing Cadillac. Alongside him, Retro Coffin and Alex Martin bringing up row 2. Box 3 natives and Gian Cardoso in the 2 seconds dead 42 alongside Dylan Bittman. Well, actually, Dylan Bittman's going to wait a little while, so it's going to be Dylan Bittman, then Lewis Ricard and Jared Skinner to round out the field here at Road America. Trying to finish projects while the fam is all gone. Well, that seems like a wise idea, sir. Do it while you got time on your hands. For sure. Let's get this set up. Oh, I hear some people talking in the background. I'm going to shut the door. Thank you all so much for coming to hang out with us here at Box 3 Motorsports.
Are you glad that we don't have the chicane in?
I don't know. I like low speed corners. I think they're fun. I like it when things are technical.
Yeah.
That's usually my vibe. Oh boy. Pretty lengthy lap for an American road circuit. 146 in the GTPs. And we're getting ready for the pace car to come into the pits.
Ooh, and Lewis Ricard is going to have... Nope, never mind. They've already taken off.
Yep, and we are racing underway. Ethan Hamlet moving over onto the racing line. Wardy Rumbouts right behind him as they get ready to line up into turn 1. Ethan Hamlet carrying some speed. It does look like Alex Martin in the Nico Motors Cadillac does go wide. Wardy Rumbouts going to try and chase him down. And there's Lewis Ricard trying to chase down Dylan Bittman. Exit of the final corner. Dylan Bittman headed into turn 1 in the lead of the LMP2 field. Bit of a wide exit there.
Side base he got?
Yeah, he definitely dealing with some rear grip issues right at the start of this race. Might be pushing a little too hard. Lewis Ricard stuck in the draft as they head through turn 4 down to the hairpin. This is what you were talking about before, Adam. Turn 5, we're going to get to see it on display. Lewis,
Ooh.
Little bit of a move there. Lewis slides over, tries to show the nose and force a mistake from Dylan Bittman. Into turn 7 now. Carrying as much speed as they can as they head down towards turn 8. All is fighting up at the front of the LMP2 field, keeping Jarrett Skinner well in touch, ready to pick up the scraps if calamity ensues. Oop, Lewis got a little loose there on the exit of the carousel. So this gap right here about, what is that, 9/10 between them. Also 9/10 between Retro Coffin and Wardy Rumbouts.
I just realized, is Lewis's picture Anderson?
Yeah, with an American, with a bald eagle. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
That classic.
Oh.
Classic. You can't Box 3, folks. You can't find better jokes on the internet. It's not possible.
Oh. Looks like Ethan Hamlet's slowly pulling away from Rumbouts.
Yeah, Ethan is pulling away from Wardy Rumbouts. Retro Coffin is staying within reach. He is losing ground, but it is still a second and a half. So it's not completely out of touch. Gian Cardoso, 13 seconds behind Retro Coffin now. I'm wondering if we got something to go back and take a look at with Gian Cardoso. Let's actually take a look at that start of the race. And there's... Not sure what it was. I don't know if it was Wardy Rumbouts braking early on that caught Alex Martin out, but goes off track, and then the rear of the car just super squirrely once he gets back on track. Oh, and then loses the back end of it. Does he manage to keep it out of the fence? He does. That is super unfortunate.
That's cold tires for you.
Gian's got too much practice for Sonoma tonight. How you doing, Jaden? Hope you're doing well. Oh, Lewis
goes off.
Lewis is going way off track. And the thing is, that exit out of turn 13 will break your car if you hit any of those bumps. It will break the floor on an LMP. So Lewis now in the recovery mode. Jarrett Skinner moving one step up on the ladder.
I wonder what happened to Lewis there, because he broke early.
It's a good question. I'm not entirely sure.
So did he have any other incidents before this?
Not sure. I can go back and take a look at the data. So Lewis does go off track.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't
look like it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Doesn't look like it. Now let's take a look at the result of Gian Cardoso going a little deep into turn 8. And just, finds a little bit of the kitty litter.
A little mowing of the grass.
Yep, a little bit. He can Flintstone it. Interesting way to think about it there, Red. I pick up what you're putting down, sir. So Lewis Ricard now on a bit of a recovery drive. He is starting to close down the gap to Jarrett Skinner, now down to 1.4 seconds. Let's go check in with Mr. Retro Coffin, who's kind of cruising right now. 2.7 seconds back from Wardy Rumbouts, but has a 14-second buffer to Gian Cardoso. Alex Martin with a 150.293 for his last lap. He's going to need to shave some more pace off if he's going to try and catch Gian Cardoso. Coral Cove, Porsche. Out here doing things. Let's take a look at that weather and see how the situation progressed as we moved into the race from qualifying. It does say it's 35 track temperature, so the temperature did come down a little bit. I'm kind of curious if the adjustment is going to give people an opportunity to extract a little bit more pace from the car.
Depends on if that track temp will continue to decrease throughout the race as well.
It is possible. It is 3:47 p.m. trackside.
Because if it comes down another, say, 5 degrees, by the time they do their pit stops, we'll see faster times.
It will be interesting. Man, 47.804 from Ethan Hamlin, a 48.2 for Wardy Rumbouts. And Retro Coffin's about 0.6 off the pace of Wardy Rumbouts right now, so he's just kind of hanging out in the background. Wardy Rumbouts in the MRRS Cadillac. I do like that. Is that supposed to be like a dark bronze or something? Dark bronze and black. Looks pretty on the Cadillac.
With who?
For Wardy Rumbouts.
Oh, I have no idea. My liveries have not showed up yet.
I was having that problem too. Start of this race. Yeah. Definitely.
I guess I could put out and come back.
Well, you do know the trick for reloading your liveries, right? You just hold down, you just do Control R in iRacing.
Oh, well, now you tell me.
Yeah. 15 viewers here watching round 8 of the SIMSA Season 1 with Box3 Motorsport. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Jarrett Skinner in the 960. LMP2 out on track with that Purple Rain livery. Very psychedelic.
Chocolate rain. Sorry.
Just kind of
Got a
want to take...
question for you.
Yes, sir.
Out of all the liveries we have on track right now, what do you like? The most?
Man, there's
so many possibilities.
There's two in particular that are like speaking to me right now, like really. And let me get switched over right now. I do really enjoy kind of like the simple look. Here, let's get the let's see if we can get switch to a different TV cam and pull up Mr. Retro Coffin in the 397 Coral Cove Porsche. I just like the it does have a little bit of like abstract pattern on it, but the clean separation between the blue and the white for me in particular, and also he's got the different like branding on the wing. He's got the Box3 logo there. He's got the Porsche logo. He's got the American flag on the wing. Like that is a really, really cool touch on a car like that. And the Porsche just looks good. The 397 car just looks really, really good. And yeah, I'm just a fan. And then also like another GTP that I'm a real fan of right now, like I was saying before, Wardy Rumbouts in the MSSR, like that dark brown. Dark brown's not really a color you think of as being endearing on a car, but it almost kind of gives it almost like this like really muted like bronze effect, or might even be kind of like a muted copper effect. But
I'm getting like a really dark gold.
Yeah, because you can see it too. Like when he goes through the corners, you can see the reflection lighten the color up on the car, and it looks really good. It's one of those moments when it's like, man, I really wish I could figure out how to run reshade, because I bet it would make these cars look really, really standoutish. Over in the LMP2, so I said I had two kinds of liveries that I was kind of into. Both Coral Cove and the MSSR GTPs are very kind of like standard, what I would consider like standard liveries for racing these days. But Lewis, he's mining my memory berries. Like, he's got a compact logo on the car, right? Like, come on, dude. Come on. Like one of the first PCs I had getting to play like video games and stuff growing up was a compact. And I just love the retro sun livery, or the retro sun pattern on the shark fin. Just real clever colors. Real clever choices, and I'm here for it. So, yeah, that's my livery takes right now.
I'm really digging Rumbouts because of that glare he gets coming through the sun.
Yep.
And it makes it just pop.
Yep.
And then Jarrett Skinner, how he has all these different colors.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, Jarrett's car is very, it's a very abstract, very psychedelic kind of feel to it. And I think that's probably what he's going there with that Purple Rain. I don't know if that's a direct shout out to Prince, but yeah, it's definitely a very funky car, and I dig it. And speaking of funky, it's about to get funky with him and Lewis Ricard. Lewis Ricard now down to inside 1.2 seconds as they go into this final chicane going towards turn 13. The 960 of Jarrett Skinner's got a fight on his hands because that gap has now dropped to barely a second.
Ooh, and it might just open back up. It looked like Lewis had a not so good exit of turn 13.
Back end got a little loose. He managed to hold it down and not really cause a tank slapper that would have probably sent the car into a bit of a spin if he'd have overcorrected. But now Mr. Lewis Ricard's got to close that gap down a little bit more. Let's get into the 96 with Lewis Ricard. Listening to this LMP2 stretching its legs as it goes through turn 4 on approach to the hairpin. Ooh, looks like we might have our first retirement of the race. Alex Martin is out. Saw him go into the pits and then disappear. I'm gonna go take a look and see if there was a crash.
Yep, turn 8.
That is unfortunate, man. You hear how Lewis is trying to balance the car with the throttle going through the carousel. We've seen him overzealous and overcommit and shoot past the exit of the carousel, but he seems to keep the car pretty balanced through here. And then on the brakes, he came into corner, inside line, over the rumble strips. You can see him get a little bit of the kitty, a little bit of the dirt. This is a guy right now that is pushing track limits to the maximum that iRacing will allow without slamming in with a slowdown.
I will say that Alex didn't hit a wall. He just spun out, went into kitty little.
Yeah, I'm hoping that wasn't like just down to frustration.
Down to 38 minutes left. Let's see if Lewis can't catch Mr. Jarrett Skinner.
Through the carousel, it seems to be Jarrett seems to be not really that vulnerable to Lewis right now. Lewis is gaining in certain sections, but it does look like I think Lewis is over pushing a little bit, and you see these moments where the gap starts to close down, and then Lewis has some sort of mistake, loses a lot of time.
That.
Yeah, just overshoots Canada corner, manages to keep it out of the wall, but those kinds of mistakes aren't going to help Lewis.
They add up.
Yeah, they're just not going to help Lewis's case. Dylan Bittman in 151.585, 11 seconds up the road, just cruising right now. Taking a look through the GTP field right now, Gian Cardoso 14 seconds back from Retro Coffin. Retro Coffin now about 10 seconds behind Marty Rumbouts. Marty Rumbouts trying to keep it within 5 on Ethan Hamlet. Ethan Hamlet just seems to be on another level here at Road America. Like, it just seems like he's just got pace for days.
And I raced with him in the 24-hour, and he did really well.
Yeah, Ethan's a really good. Tell me about your Daytona 24 experience. How much fun did you get to have doing that?
My first couple of stints, I didn't have hardly any fun. I was actually kind of aggravated.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Just
Yeah.
traffic, or people just not using their head when racing, that kind of thing?
Kinda.
Okay.
So my first stint, actually my outlap, I was coming around, and I don't know what turn it is, but the left-hander coming up onto the banking
In and
for
out?
the oval section.
In and out, yeah.
Yeah. I lost control, started sliding, and then P1 came up and rear-ended me. I could not drive due to steering malfunctions and had to tow it. So we ended up being in the pits for about 8 minutes. We were P2
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
That put us down to P14. I was scheduled for 3 stints. I only did 2 because my mind just wasn't in it.
Yeah.
So I handed it back to Anderson, went and cooled off, and after I got done with my stints, I went to bed and found out we ended up finishing P4.
That's a good result. That's a good recovery,
Yeah.
too, especially being down 8 minutes in the pits with a repair. For me, kind of like a similar situation with just like bad luck. Like me and Beltan, Robert Lewis, for anyone that doesn't know him, who's raced a few rounds here in the SIMSA series. Me and him two-manned the LMP2 at Daytona, and got about 20 hours into the race before just technical malfunctions on Beltan's computer. He just couldn't continue. So we had unfortunately. But the thing is that we came away with positives. Like, we still finished P11. I think we qualified. I think we didn't qualify the car at all. Like, we started from the back of the field. So I think we ended up gaining, like, I don't know, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of like 6 or 7 spots. And I mean, at one point during the race, we were running like P4, P5, which was like really good. Like, it's just, Beltane had really good pace, and I just felt like I had really good consistency. Because I was definitely slower. It was a high strength of field race, and I definitely feel like I was, I felt slower than the field, but the consistency really helped me. But it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. It would have been great to finish it. Would have been great to say we two-manned a 24-hour race. But the fact that we made 20 hours, just 2 people, felt really good. On board with Retro Coffin, currently 11.7 seconds back. Sitting in third. Does seem to have cruising velocity on Gian Cardoso, who's 13.4 back. Let's actually check in with Mr. Cardoso. How's Mr. Cardoso doing?
That's very impressive to do a two-man for at least 20 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, it was but me and Beltan have known each other for a long time. We used to do these iRacing special events all the time. I'd love to get back into the habit of doing them again. Maybe it's something I'll get into after I move. I'm actually, for the folks that don't know, this is probably going to be my last SIMSA broadcast for the season, because I'm getting ready to move back to Arkansas at the end of this month, and maybe when I get there, maybe I'll get to do some more racing. Who knows?
Well, hurry up and move within 2 weeks, and you can be back.
Yep, it's the plan. We'll see. I got to get there. I got to find high-speed internet and all that other fun stuff.
See, priorities. First thing you need to do, even before you get down there, internet. Second thing, set up your rig. Boom, you're good. Don't need to do anything
Before
else.
I get down there, set up my rig. The rig is actually going to go on the truck assembled on casters, and what'll happen is, like, first thing, I'll just, like, roll it off into the front door. Like, just roll it right up to the internet jack, plug in, we're good to go.
Just your closest outlet to the front door, that's where it needs to go.
Exactly. But
I noticed that Lewis had gone off at the Canada corner again. He's not having a whole lot of luck in that corner.
Lewis, I don't know if it's a matter of he's pushing the car too hard or what, but he definitely seems to be struggling to close the gap down to Jarrett entirely.
I think he is pushing too hard, because I went back, looked at it, and he looks like he's braking a little later into the turns.
Yeah.
Just so he can try and catch Jarrett.
Yeah.
I think that's what is going on. If he just runs his lines, he can catch him. It'll be nice to see Jarrett with a second place finish as well.
Yeah, Jarrett's on tap for it right now. He's got to keep his head down. Nothing's determined right now, but he definitely seems to be holding his ground. It does look like something must have happened to Retro. Looks like he had a bit of a moment off track. Let's go back and take a peek. See what happened. Retro rear lockup going into Canada corner. Does manage to keep the car out of the wall. Maybe getting set up for the corner entry a little too much, and the rear lockup just caught him out. But he does seem to get back up to speed. So it does look like focus is definitely key here at Road America.
That's one of the good things about small grids like this. If you're spread out enough like this,
Yeah.
and you go off, you don't have to wait for 5-10 seconds to get back on track. You can go.
Yeah.
And you're not losing all that time and losing positions.
Indeed. Going back and taking a look at what you were talking about, Canada corner, just too far off and into that grass. And Lewis Ricard's going to have to regain all that time to catch back up to Mr. Jared Skinner.
I will say, if he keeps on the path that he's going, he's going to end up in that wall.
That's going to be tough.
Like towards the end of this stint, if he goes off and his tires are just so bare, he's going to end up in the wall. I hate to say it, but
Let's take a look at Mr. Gian Cardoso right now. Trying to catch Retro Coffin. are starting to see some improvements in the middle sectors for retro, or not retro, but for GN. Actually, you know what I want? It's not the sectors I want. I want that lap time history. Let's look at that lap time history. Look at that. So, Cardoso.
Pit wall for iRacing?
We sure do. Exclamation point pit wall in chat should get you there. Let me see if it works, actually.
Why do I not have that up?
Yep, there you go. Should pull that up. Should be able to see some of the live timing data. Actually, I have another live timing page if you want to take a peek at it.
Yeah.
One of the things that's another one of those fun tools with SDK is being able to use the live timing data. Let's see if it shows. First, let's see if the link posts. It does.
Sweet.
So, yeah. It's a little different feel. It's not pit wall by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion. I like pit wall much better. But it is just another thing that I feel like...
Oh, I can use this much better, though.
Think so?
Yeah.
Good to hear, good to hear.
This is just the laps, and I don't need to, focus on where they are on track and this and that and what have you.
I believe that a little gear icon, I think you might even be able to select what fields you want to see. I'm not sure, though. So... Do you see... So, on board with Ethan Hamlet right now, I hear him fluttering the throttle? Is he fluttering the throttle?
Who? Bittman?
No, Hamlet. Oh, no, he's running out of gas.
Let's hope this hill doesn't get him.
I can't tell if he's fluttering the throttle because he's trying to save fuel or if he was actually genuinely running out of gas. We're at the halfway point, folks. 29 minutes on the clock has elapsed. Ethan Hamlet, first GTP into the pits, I believe?
No.
Oh, no, I see it, yeah. We got the 110 and the 46. Oh, he had to downshift to second. Oh, yeah, he pushed it. He pushed it deep. That is fascinating. There's the Coral Cove. Porsche into pit lane.
Oh, I see that Rumbout's positioned his car to where he just has to go straight.
Yeah, Wardy Rumbout's going for that efficient pit exit.
He was off of the jacks before Ethan was as well. Unless I'm stupid stuff.
So Hamlin on pit exit. It could be. It could be. But that could be a fuel difference in how much they're putting in the car relative to one another. Wardy Rumbout's out the pit exit as well. It's going to be interesting to see what the delta looks like when they come out of the pits. Currently it says 7.5 seconds, but I think that number might come down a little bit. Just taking a look at the data though, Adam. Pit box time was 34.93 for Ethan Hamlet and a 35.33 for Wardy Rumbouts. Pit lane travel time, Ethan Hamlet 15.8, the fastest GTP by far, with the exception of Gian Cardoso 14.5. 1 minute 14.15 for Gian Cardoso for the fastest pit stop in GTP. And yeah, we're back at it.
Where do you see that at?
So if you look at let me check the live timing stuff myself just to make sure that you can see the data that I see. But if you look, you're going to see what is that? I believe it is.
I see the pit.
Yeah, the pit lane time is the amount of time they were in the box. Looks like you get to see pit lap and pit time. You don't get to see full pit lane travel.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, last pit time, last pit lap. Yeah. But pit lane travel time, 1 minute 14.15 for Gian Cardoso for the fastest time. Does save some time relative to Retro Coffin to the tune of almost 3 seconds. Retro Coffin gave up 3 seconds to Gian Cardoso in the pit stops.
Ooh, are you watching the Lewis?
I am. I'm tuned into it right now. And Lewis Ricard starting to harass Jarrett Skinner as they go into turn 3.
Putting the pressure on.
Oh, now it looks like we might have a bit of a side-by-side battle going into turn 5. Jarrett Skinner is not a pushover. He's not going to just jump out of Lewis's way. He's going to make him earn it.
Ooh, Lewis got a little squirrely there.
He did, but Lewis also had to brake a little bit earlier because Jarrett had the inside line on him. So now these guys fighting to get temperature back in their tires after the pit stops, and the race is on for P2 in the LMP2 category. 32 minutes, 35 seconds elapsed on the clock. We are in the last half of this race, Adam. What do you think of Road America so far? What do you think of these cars on Road America?
Oh, I think it's great. I really do.
Such a fun format, such a fun combination. Go ahead.
Like I was telling you, at the beginning when we were still doing practice and qualifying, the 2 turns that we're going to have the most quote unquote incidents would be Canada Corner and turn 5. And most of them happened at Canada Corner.
Yep. Okay, so he is on the gearbox. Switch over to Lewis Ricard and get to that chopper cam if we can quickly. I don't know if we can. Into turn 1. Jarrett hanging with him. Lewis can carry a little bit more speed. Jarrett taking a wider line and losing a little bit of ground. And now that's going to put Mr. Lewis Ricard.
Lewis went a little wide in T2.
Interesting. They are just... Oh, and now Ethan Hamlet is showing up in the background.
Let's see if Lewis is going to try and keep it there. Doesn't look like he will. Oh.
A little bit of a lockup.
He tried. He tried keeping it there.
You saw that little puff of smoke, little lockup from Lewis Ricard going into turn 5. Ethan Hamlet in the background, I think, is probably going to lose a little bit of time relative to Wardy Rumbouts, but he's got time to spare, but he wants to try and navigate through this fight because these two are getting ready to pummel each other, and he just doesn't want to catch a stray fist.
Best bet will be right here, right at the end of the carousel. Or at least through the kink.
Yeah, on the exit of the kink, now he's going to have to move. He's got a little bit of space. Oh, man, he is getting held up so much. Oh, they are right next to each other. Jarrett Skinner.
They're having a fierce battle.
Yep. And there goes. And, yep, able to move through. Oh, wow. So close between Jarrett. Oh, Jarrett Skinner. Did he just give the spot back to... Did Lewis just give the spot back to Jarrett?
I think he did. So I went back and looked at it. It looked like there was a little bit of net code.
Okay.
Gave him a small tap. I think that's why Lewis gave it back to him.
Gotcha. Now they're getting ready to go into turn 1 again. And there's Wardy Rumbouts in the background. Now 5.5 seconds back from Ethan Hamlet. So Ethan Hamlet loses a little bit of ground to Wardy Rumbouts, dealing with the front runners in LMP2. Or not the front runners. This is the battle for P2. Jarrett Skinner and Lewis Ricard putting on a show for us here at Road America.
Yeah, they're all front runners today. Ooh, that's a massive lockup.
It is. And
but he's going to be able to stay right there with him, so. Just
a small lapse in concentration from Jarrett Skinner. catching him out. And did Lewis just start flashing for you?
Yep.
Looks like the story is not over. Wardy Rumbouts is trying to find his way around Jared Skinner. Takes the inside line on the exit of the carousel. I don't think he's going to be able.
In between these two. Yep.
He can, but I don't think he's going to get him on the. But he will on the exit of the kink. He lost a little bit of time relative to Ethan Hamlet, but Ethan Hamlet lost much more time when he was stuck behind these two that were duking it out.
Well, Ethan Hamlet spent, what, a full lap behind them?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it was almost a full lap. Yeah.
And
I think he caught them at turn 5.
The
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So big gains for Wardy Rumbouts in the battle for P1 of GTP.
These two are having a great battle here in the back of the pack.
Indeed they are. Jared is hanging on. Half second between him and Lewis Ricard. And it still looks like Lewis might be overdriving the car just a little bit.
Oh yeah, he did that. Words are hard for me. But through, what is that, T7, he didn't carry a lot of speed through that corner. If you saw Jarrett gain him almost instantly. And then if Jarrett is smart, he'll watch Lewis through this turn and notice that this is one of Lewis's weakest turns.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what happens with Jarrett in the background if Lewis is going to overshoot the corner. Instead, he takes a way more conservative corner entry and starts to pull away from Jarrett a little bit more.
Jarrett's also still in that draft, so...
Yeah, Jarrett is in the draft. That has probably given him a little bit of assistance. Very good fighting between these two right now, but we're going to check in on somebody we haven't seen hide nor hair of, and that is Mr. Dylan Bittman in the 110, currently 39 seconds up the road in LMP2 for the Leopard Esports crew. Just head down, doing his job.
He's done really well this season.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's definitely been a standout in LMP2. No question. Dueling on Twitch if you guys are looking for him. But, yeah, the 110 Leopard Esports LMP2 is really slippery here at Road America and pumping out some mega pace. And there's Mr. Ethan Hamlet, who's also had some mega pace here. But that gap, over 6.5 seconds, hasn't really grown so much since they've cleared the LMP2, P2, P3 in the field. I'm not going to lie. There's something he is doing to the car that I cannot quite put my finger on. I can't tell if it's a technical problem or what. I'm going to go to the roll bar. Listen to his throttle. Do you hear it cutting in and out?
Yeah, a little bit. Let me see if I can't hear it on my end.
That is something interesting going on there.
Is that the roll bar?
Yep. I mean, even from the cockpit camera, I'm getting the same thing. Either way, that's interesting. Could be that he's doing something technical to save fuel. Maybe he's running a little bit light. I don't know. But Ethan Hamlin's now got that gap to about 6.9 on Marty Runbouts. Taking a look at Go ahead.
You've got to think he could also be in build mode.
That's true. He could just be running in build mode. Yeah.
Now we have Retro Coffin coming up on the fight between Lewis and Skinner.
Interesting. Let's go
And
switch over.
looks like Skinner got back around Lewis as well.
Interesting. Let's jump back and see if we can figure out what happened. Lewis Ricard off track.
Looks like turn 8.
Going into turn 8. Yep, just pushed it way too deep into the corner.
Just didn't brake hard. Yeah.
Maybe either broke too late or didn't brake hard enough. One of the two. And then you can already see the rear end of the car sliding around as he comes back on track. And there's Retro Coffin in the Coral Cove Porsche. Retro finding his way around Jarrett Skinner as they go down the start-finish straightaway. And Jarrett, driver with his head on straight all the time. You notice how immediately when the Porsche got around him, he immediately moved over into the draft, trying to get as much as he can in terms of assistance here for pace, because, man, let me tell you, Lewis Ricard is right on him. Look at this.
Oh, they're definitely pressuring each other. With 11 minutes to go.
It is an hour race, sir. You got a little bit more time than that. You got about 12 minutes? No, more than that. 17 minutes.
Yeah, an hour, 60 minutes, time elapsed, 50.
Oh, you said laps, not minutes. Duh. Sorry. I said
minutes.
You said words are hard. Words are hard for me too.
They are. Okay. I'm glad that we're on the same page.
Oh, Jarrett goes off a little bit. Oh no, and that's going to set him up.
He keeps it.
Going into the carousel.
Up
in there in the background is Gian Cardoso.
Oh, and if Cardoso does something, that might...
Oh, Gian just chucks it up the inside of both of them. Gian just going for it.
Wow.
Jarrett Skinner now 0.6 ahead of Lewis Ricard as we get to the 45-minute mark here at Road America. 15 minutes left. These two have been going at it for better part of 30 minutes. Very interested to see how this shakes out. Quick update in GTP category. It does look like Ethan Hamlin has started to pull away from Marty Rumbouts. It's now up to 7.5 seconds. Gian Cardoso keeping it closer to Retro Coffin, about 4.6 seconds between them. Dylan Bittman, 49 seconds ahead of these two right now in LMP2.
These two make me nervous, Bill.
They are making me nervous too. They are, for sure. For sure. They're making me nervous as well.
But I guess that's the sign of good racing. When they can make the crowd nervous, they're doing something right.
Indeed. through the kink, man. They are nose to tail. Canada corner's coming up. Not really. Oh, it's my dad in chat talking about my great nephew, Mr. Bryce. Looks like my dad and Bryce are watching round 8 of IMSA Season 1 here at Box 3 as well. Jared has a bit of a moment on the exit of corner 13, and Lewis able to move underneath, and Lewis...
Did he let him back by again?
I don't understand what's happening here, but either way...
Lewis didn't touch him at all that time.
Indeed.
We'll definitely have to bring one, if not both of them down here after the race.
Yeah, we'll try and get some interviews going here at the end. 47 minutes, 22 seconds elapsed at Road America. And these two cars have been going at it this whole time. I kind of want to take I want to take some liberties with the camera angles that I'm using here. Let's go take a look at that rear chase shot from Jarrett Skinner's perspective as he goes through turn 8. And you can see relative distances between him and Lewis Ricard. It is very close between these two right now. In fact, so close that if we take a look at those lap time differences, let's take a look at the time delta right here. And you can see there's really nothing in it for him. Oh, exit a turn or Canada corner, and it looks like Lewis is going to pull out in front. So Lewis Ricard pounces with 48 minutes exhausted on the clock, and now Jarrett Skinner's in recovery mode. Try and see if he can catch back up to Mr. Lewis Ricard.
I think this will be a fight to the end.
I think it could be as well. Does look like Mr. Wardy Rumbout's had a bit of a moment. Oh, just misses the braking mark at Canada corner and manages to keep it just outside of the tire wall.
Ooh.
Like barely. Gets back out on track. Gets settled back in. Saves the car. Again, that beautiful livery on the MSSR Cadillac. And he's back on track and doing his thing. You know, we've been watching so much of these two going at it on track. I really want to see another shot. Let's go take a look at that shot again. Jarrett Skinner, Lewis Ricard going. Exit of 13, just gets a little sideways on exit into the grass, and Lewis Ricard slips right underneath. Oh, this is the one where they rearranged themselves.
Lewis gave it back, yeah.
Lewis gave it back. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, if I'm totally honest. But the pass for the actual change of position, again, turn 13, another moment. Oh no, the data just keeps sending me back to this one location. I keep clicking the different one and it keeps moving me back to the other one. It's fine. It was still a good pass, I think. Still a good pass. Jarrett Skinner. Looks like he's within 2/10. I can't tell if he's letting... Looks like he's letting Jarrett... These two are having their own personal little battle on track. And see, here's the thing, folks. This kind of thing right here in this kind of community, especially in these league races and stuff, I love to see this kind of stuff. Like, these guys are over a minute away from Dylan Bittman. But rather than, you know, punching out or something like that, just having a race relative to one another And it's just so much fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And that may be one of the reasons why Lewis keeps letting Jarrett back in front of him.
Yeah, could be. It could be this idea that he's just going to continue to try and pick up some skills, learn some racecraft, doing kind of what we do as amateurs in sim racing, you know? Like, we're not professionals. Nobody's getting paid to do this. But going out there, having fun, learning how to race relative to one another, I love to see that sort of thing, personally.
Oh, you're not getting paid?
I'm not getting paid, no.
I'm getting paid in enjoyment.
You're getting paid in Very clever. Very clever, sir. I'm getting paid. The real payment was the friends we made along the way, right?
Yep.
Yep, and into Canada corner, Jarrett Skinner goes. Lewis just looming in the background. Another wide exit for Jarrett.
See, right there, Lewis could have easily made the pass, but chose not to.
Look at this. Chief coming in saying, "You guys have friends?" Chief, you know better. You know better, sir. Mr. Dylan Bittman in the 110 Leopard Esports with less than 8 minutes on the clock, a 1 minute 14 second advantage. And Mr. Bittman has just not put a foot wrong this entire race. Said he had try hard mode activated for this race, and boy does it show. Had pace in hand this whole time.
Is Mr. Cardoso slowly catching Coffin?
Let's find out.
Because it looks like it.
Yep, 3.6 seconds is the gap. If I'm taking a look at last lap times, a 49.15 for Retro Coffin, a 48.53 for Gian Cardoso. Somebody who has... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I was going to say, somebody who has had pace in hand this whole race as well, Mr. Ethan Hamlet. Last lap was a 49.52, but his best on the race, a 47.49 in race trim. That's pretty quick for a GTP around here.
And what I was going to say with Cardoso slowly catching Coffin, I don't think it's going to matter with the amount of time that we have left.
Could be. That could be. 0.5 advantage Cardoso right now.
Because this should be the last lap for Mr. Ethan Hamlet.
I still see 5.5 minutes. That's based on my clock. Let me check real quick. Yeah, he's getting ready to go into the kink.
Yep.
He might have a little more than 2 laps left.
I don't...
Because it's almost going to be 55 minutes on the clock when he comes across the line.
I mean, unless the elapsed time for iRacing accounts for the outlap.
I don't think it does. I think they go green when it triggers the green flag.
Well, then this should be the final lap.
I don't think it is though. Yeah, no white flag.
Huh.
Let's check in with Gian Cardoso. Like you were saying though, Gian Cardoso now 2.5 seconds between him and Retro Coffin, and this makes me wonder, given the pace delta between these two right now. Did Gian just figure something out in the car, or is Retro having to save some pace because of maybe fuel? Could be.
Ooh, with Jarrett going off again, and T8 losing a lot more ground.
Yeah, he loses a lot more ground this time. Let's go take a peek and see what that looked like. Although actually, I'm still getting that weird thing where maybe it'll show it. Let's see. Oh yeah, T8.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you're right, he lost a lot of ground that time. He lost a lot of ground.
So it looks like he just didn't brake hard enough.
Could be. Maybe a lockup. Maybe he had to modulate the pedal a little bit. because these LMP2 cars do not have ABS.
There was a slight lockup.
It'll get you. So Jared Skinner in the 960 Purple Rain LMP2 trying to chase down Louis Ricard. That gap is pretty big now, 3.2 seconds and growing.
Surprised Lewis didn't slow down for him.
Slow down.
Like
Slow down for him. Pull into the drive-thru. Order a Happy Meal. "15 viewers in chat watching us at Round 8, Road America. We're going to be back. Mr. Molson will be back. I will not be back, but Mr. Molson will be back for the next round of SIMSA Season 1. And I'm very interested in this next round, Adam. Virginia International Raceway.
Ooh.
That is going to be, I think, a tough one.
I know why you're excited for that one too, and it sucks that you won't be here for it.
Yeah, being a Virginia native, it's going to be kind of.
Well, you won't be in Virginia.
I will not be. I will be in Arkansas.
Funny.
Yeah. I will get to claim to be an Arkansas native again, which is nice. So.
Wow.
But yeah, Virginia International Raceway. That's going to be February 10th at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Again, round number 9. We got 3 more rounds. We got we got Indianapolis Motor Speedway on February 24th and Road Atlanta for the series finale on March 9th.
I don't suppose that you have the forums, do you?
The forums. Which forums are you talking about?
For iRacing.
Not pulled up right now. No. Why?
Well, I mean, obviously you won't have it pulled up right this second. I was gonna look at the special events, see when the Daytona 500 is.
Daytona 500. Oh, well, I can get you that information very fast, sir. It's very easy to do. You just Google search iRacing Special Events 2024.
Well, I'm already here, so.
Daytona 500 will be February 13th through the 19th. The Great American Race. NASCAR Cup Series event. I'm guessing you're saying that because you're going to go participate in that one?
Oh, absolutely.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic.
I think the only ones that I will not participate in is Bathurst, the 12-hour.
Really?
Yeah.
She's not a fan of Bathurst?
No, I'm not a fan of Bath. Did you watch the ACC a couple seasons ago? Where we ran at Bathurst?
I've seen a lot of Bathurst races. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was that you were referring to that was bad.
Actually, I just got moved up into silver, and that was one of the first couple of races, and I took out a lot of people.
Those sorts of things happen, man. You shouldn't fault yourself or the track too hard. Or Bathurst is a wonderful track, in my opinion.
Don't get me wrong. It is a nice track. It's just I'm not quite there yet. If I put in a lot of practice, maybe.
Yeah.
But even still.
Yeah. One of my best races ever was in ACC at Bathurst. I ran a 10-hour with Blaine Hall and Mr. Jake Wells. It was a lot of fun. Ethan Hamlin coming up to the back of the 960 of Jared Skinner, who's moving slow. He's moving so that he can get behind Ethan when he crosses the line. I see what's happening here. But Ethan Hamlin, man, pedal to the metal.
Really
absolutely crushed it here. 15-second advantage to Wardy Rumbouts to win round 8 at Road America.
Did he run out of gas, Jake? Or not Jake, Jarrett?
No, I think Jarrett slowed down so that he could get to the line at the same time.
Well, no, he's going into the pits.
Well, maybe he did. That would be interesting. Let's switch on over to Mr. Dylan Bittman, who's going through Canada Corner right now, and he has had quite a race as well. So Wardy Rumbouts comes across the line in second place. Retro Coffin's going to finish on the final step of the podium with Gian Cardoso coming across in fourth. Dylan Bittman exiting turn 13, going down the start-finish straightaway. Dylan Bittman in the 110 for Liepert, taking the win here at round number 8. Mr. Louis Ricard.
Good job.
Headed into the carousel right now, finishing out the lap to finish P2 in the LMP2 category, and Jared Skinner is going to finish in third. Alex Martin was our only retirement in this race. Chief Blaze is like, I didn't know people lived in that state by choice. It's a wonderful state, Chief. It's a wonderful state. You don't pay,
actually.
if you don't pay too much attention to what's going on around you, it's a wonderful state.
That's anywhere you go.
That's anywhere you go, 100%. But Lewis is going to come across the line. He's going to exit turn 13 for us here and creep on up the start-finish straightaway in the 9.6 car to finish this out. Don't be logical with me. I don't like it. I mean, that's just about everybody, man. And that's one for the books. He teleported right at the very end, man. His internet almost died. That is hilarious. But that is gonna be the race. So what I'm gonna do, Adam, I'm gonna go fire up a channel in voice chat, create voice channels. I'm gonna drag you down there and want to see if I can get Mr.
We can
Dylan
move him
Bittman
down into this.
Yeah, I'm gonna
chat.
I was just gonna do the click to create, but no, we could try and move them down here and see if they can talk. I'm not entirely sure they will. Let's find out, though. We're going to grab Mr. Dylan Bittman, who's sitting in a voice chat for a quick conversation. Mr. Dylan Bittman, how are you doing?
I would say really, really good.
Really good. Glad to hear it, man. So round number 8, Road America. Tell me a little bit about your experience with this track historically. Did you feel like it was going to be a really strong one?
At the beginning of my training, I would say no. I was really slow the whole career I have in everything.
Okay.
Then I said to myself, because of the last race, okay, fine. The stewards want me to try hard, then they get the try hard. So I get a good base setup from a shop, and
good deal.
Figured out the bad parts and built the setup so that it fits perfectly to me. And I can say I've done really, really good.
Good deal. You said with the baseline setup that you got from Setup Shop, what you said you had to work some of the bad parts out. What were some of the bad things that you had to work out with the LMP2 relative to Road America?
That will be my own secret.
Okay, good deal, good deal. I mean, the main thing that we were kind of speculating about, me and Adam, at the start of this race, free practice, you guys had 42 degrees on track temp. You guys got down to 35 for the actual race. I was thinking that the heat itself might induce a little bit of accelerated tire wear. And I was just going to try and see if maybe you kind of like keyed in on that and maybe worked around those assumptions as well. But that's fine. That's fine. But so back on top here at Road America, that's got to feel really good. And man, you had some monster pace this week. Is that something that we can expect to see going into VIR?
Not on that level, but for sure I will keep my tryhard modes on for the rest of the season. Because
excellent.
I'm a little bit pissed of the incidents that were on the last race. But I accept the steward decisions. It's okay, but they have to live with my reaction, and my reaction is to get the tryhard mode on and try hard.
So you got a little fire in your belly. That's good to hear, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I say to myself, I want to have the two other guys or the other LMPs in front of me in blue in my relative and not in white in my back.
Gotcha. Well, the pace was definitely there this week. Really looking forward to seeing what you can do in the car at VIR. It's going to be, I think, a pretty tough track, especially for those prototypes. But I feel like you're up to the challenge. But congratulations, sir. Round 8 win in the books for you, and really looking forward to seeing what you can do at Virginia International Raceway. Congratulations.
Thank you, and have a good 24-hour of Daytona, guys.
Yep. Have a good day, man. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Who else do we have in here? I want to grab one of the
Lewis.
I want to grab one of the GT. We can grab Lewis. Let's grab Lewis real quick.
Should make our way up the grid.
Mr. Lewis Ricard, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic race, man. I mean, that was probably tough, but it was fantastic for us to get to watch you and Jarrett go at it time and time again. Talk to us about Road America. You had a bit of setup trouble during qualifying. What happened there?
So, for setup wise in quali, I put my Nürburgring race setup on for quali. I was wondering why I had a lot of understeer.
Yeah.
And I realized really late, like, oh my god, there's 10 minutes left and I've got 50 litres of fuel in the car.
That'll do it. Yep. You're carrying around another person.
I came back and changed it all out, so not got to show my true pace on this track.
Yeah.
And the setup I put on was just horrendous.
Yeah, it did seem like you were having some troubles, particularly in Canada Corner. It looked like the car was pushing a little bit deep, but it also looked like, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, that you were pushing pretty hard.
Right, I'll go over. So stint 1 and stint 2 are very, very different stints, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Stint 1 was on the first lap with me and Bittman. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah.
Going into turn 5,
yeah.
I went to the inside and he kind of cut across and then swiped my nose. And it bent my front right, basically fender in, by like 10 seconds of damage. So then the same lap coming into turn 14, I kind of sent it over the grass and destroyed my floor. Like, horrendously. Like, I was struggling from that rest of that stint until the end.
We were actually
That's why
I
could not keep up with Skinner.
Yeah.
Every time I make an ingress, I just get so much understeer and the car wouldn't turn and I just go straight on at a corner.
Yeah. When you had that really deep exit into the grass on 13, I really thought you broke the floor because it's really bumpy out in the very extremes. So I mean, I thought that happened, but to have you kind of confirm that kind of like lines up with my suspicion on where your pace went after that. But well,
I will say I didn't break the floor; I shattered the floor. I had nothing. After that incident.
Yeah. Well, you did hang with it though, especially after the repairs, and managed to pip Jarrett Skinner with some pressure. So that had to at least feel good to go out there and have some elbows out racing with Jarrett, especially because Jarrett's a really fun person to drive against. But
it was very fun. Very, very fun. But I realized something much earlier than Skinner did, and that was we didn't have enough fuel to finish the race.
Interesting.
I'd noticed that as well, because when Skinner came into the pits that last lap behind Ethan Hamlet, he was barely moving.
Yeah. I was thinking that he would move behind Ethan Hamlet just so that he would finish behind Hamlet to end his race. But the fact that you guys were struggling with fuel, that's a very interesting concept. I wonder if we're going to see kind of a very similar pattern at something like VIR. It might be something to keep your head on about.
Yeah, definitely. But I will say, like, it was the first 2 laps. I was like, I was pulling away. I basically caught up to Skinner and passed him. I was like, I don't have enough fuel for this. So I basically slowed down and let Skinner pass me, so I could have the toll for the rest of the stint and save as much fuel without basically losing too much time.
Interesting.
That answered my question.
Interesting. So that's definitely putting your head on straight about how to get to the end as best you can. So hats off to you for cracking the code on that one. But with that said, though, round 9 VIR should be. Uncrunchables is looking forward to VIR. It's his home track. Well, I guess it would qualify as my home track, at least until the end of this week, Uncrunchables. But yeah, so Yeah, do what? You love the track?
I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
One of my favorite tracks in this game.
VIR is just such a fun track, and again, it definitely falls into the category of one of those really brutal, like American style or British GT style road circuits that will punish you if you make too many mistakes. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm glad that you are too. But anyway, good. I mean, it was the recovery that you had to make, a P2 finish. Going into VIR for round 9. I'm really looking forward to seeing you there, Lewis. Thanks again for racing and good results, sir.
Yeah, I'll just say one thing to Bitman. Next week, I can actually practice for Virginia, so hopefully I can actually beat you next week.
Good on you. Got some fire in your belly as well, folks. Tune in here for the next race, VIR, because Lewis really wants to take the fight to Bitman.
I want 2 wins this season. I was wanting to.
Yeah.
And I've got 1, so I want the second.
Yeah. So again, congratulations, sir, and we will see you at VIR.
Mm-hmm.
See here. I'm looking through chat. Should we see if we can pull down Retro for a quick chat?
Yeah, we've got
Let's do that.
P2, 3, and 4 all in chat up there.
Yeah, let's pull down Retro. We haven't heard from GTP yet. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I see Wardy's in there too. I'm gonna pull Wardy in here as well. Mr. Wardy Rumbout, you there?
Yes.
Well, sir, other than butchering your name earlier in this stream, a second place finish here at Road America, that was a race about really just kind of like managing your fuel, it sounds like. Tell us a little bit about how your race went.
Oh, I didn't need to fuel safe at all. I don't know if how anyone else had problems with that, but maybe just difference in driving style or car.
We definitely did notice some things. We definitely noticed, Retro was talking about he needed to do some fuel saving as well, but we did notice that, like, for example, Ethan Hamlet had some very interesting throttle patterns in a few corners. Sounded like his throttle was cutting out. It could have just been a technical issue, like he could have had like throttle problems with the potentiometer or something, but definitely was noticing some weird sounds coming from the car. So a second place finish, and by the way, the MSSR Cadillac, me and Adam were talking about this throughout the entire stream. That is a really good looking livery that you guys put together for that car. So shout out about that. But a second place finish at Road America. Tell us about your race overall. How'd it feel?
Oh, start was good. Just managed to stay in P2. I do need to work on my pace with cold tires because that's absolutely terrible. But apart from that, just managing one big brake fart. But yeah, that happens too, you know.
So we got VIR coming up. I've never seen GTPs at VIR. Have you raced them there yet?
Yeah. For me, I like it. It's for me it has a lot of flow. And hopefully I can do good there.
Indeed. So one of the things that I did want to say is you showing up into this series has been kind of an interesting thing, because both you and Lars are the first two that have shown up that have really kind of like shown pace relative to Ethan Hamlet. Do you think you can kind of close the gap down on Ethan for VIR?
I'll try as hard as I can, but I cannot promise anything.
Yeah. Well, all the same, sir, it was a fantastic result for a race that looked like a lot of people around you were trying to manage their cars, but it seemed like you kind of had it figured out and came home with a P2 finish. So congratulations, sir. Really looking forward to seeing you. Oh, wait a minute. Audio thing for y'all. Throttle was completely fine on my end. Could be Crunchables. Looks like we've got Ethan in chat, but that was just weird for us to hear. Ethan, but good thing that the throttle's working good on your end. But yeah, back to you, Wardy. Congratulations again for a P2 finish. Really looking forward to seeing what you can do at Virginia International Raceway. I hope you had a good time, and we'll hope to see you there.
Yeah.
All right, Retro, sir.
What is up?
Fuel management. Tell us all about it.
It was most of the race, really. I kept looking at my timer and it was barely there. So most of the race, I had to fuel save on the first stint just to make it to the same pit sequence as the guys in P1, P2. And then towards the end, it was a balance of managing Gian in P4 closing in and just trying to keep an eye on the fuel timer to make sure that I had enough.
Interesting. I wonder if maybe there's something about the balance of performance of the Porsche here at Road America in particular that might have caught you out because unless Gian says anything, I don't really oh no, he said he ran out of fuel before the line. Oh, so it looks like it was just a thing.
Line.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, he said he
Go ahead.
told me he fuel saved like 3 laps before the pit and 3 laps before the finish, and I'm like, I had to fuel save most of that race.
Interesting.
Maybe it's my right foot is just like too heavy, and
the
coming out of the corner, I just give it too much.
monkey foot too strong. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
maybe.
I get it. I get it. Well, still coming away with a third place finish here at Road America. It's got to be good, feeling good for you relative to your battle with Fife, who's going to be back at Virginia International Raceway. So you get a little bit of the advantage.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can see him somewhere in the Daytona broadcast. Just the Timu Nils somewhere in there. I haven't seen him yet.
Oh man, yes. We've got our very own correspondent on the ground at Daytona 24. Everybody from Box 3, Box 3's own Brandon Nils Nijak Pfeiffer out there. So it's going to be interesting to hear from Fife about the race. And I just totally butchered Nils' name, but I also have trouble talking, so it's okay. Retro third place finish here, very good.
It's a fun race. It's a
yeah.
fun track. I love that track.
Yeah, indeed. Budget Nils. Budget Nils. Wow. Gian with the jokes. Anyway, so VIR, are you looking forward to it?
Yes, and slightly terrified of how it's gonna work out. It feels a little narrow sometimes. So
Absolutely.
we'll see how narrow it is once you get like 2 GTPs side by side. And there's so much runoff, and the grass is so slippery that if you make it to the grass, you're just going out to the woods. Like there might be a golf course or something back there.
Interesting. But yes, it is very narrow. I'm really looking forward to that. That is an elbows out track if I've ever seen one. But congratulations, sir, for your third place finish. And we're going to keep you in here while we get ready to close it out. Adam, thank you very much for being in the booth with me, sir, for round 8.
Of course.
This was a lot of fun. It didn't work out for you getting to race, but it worked out for me getting to have somebody to occupy the booth with me and have a little bit of fun. So it worked out for me.
I'm okay. And I'm okay with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is round 8 in the books. Road America is done and dusted. Ethan Hamlet with the race win in GTP, and Dylan Bittman. Try hard mode is activated. He's going into VIR with a fire in his belly. It's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out. We got 3 more rounds left in SIMSA. If you are interested at all in participating, be sure and check us out. simgrid.com/hosts/box3. We got 3 different categories you can sign up for. There's still plenty of room, so if you want to join us, feel free. But until we come back to you for round number 9, 2 weeks away, Virginia International Raceway, I'm Whelp Cakes, in the booth with me, Mr. Adam Willie. We're going to call it here. We hope you all have a good night.